Just start on your thoughts on the game.
Yes, Lunga, obviously disappointed because we didn't, actually gave ourselves a chance. We were out of it quite early on the scoreboard. The players showed a lot of fight. I felt that, it wasn't a lack of fight. We defended quite hard when Leinster attacked on the goal line. But in those soft moments, where we conceded that early try, after they knocked on, we tried to play out and then lose the ball, and then they went and scored. And then we got the yellow cards in between that, and we lost a few lineouts or scrappy lineouts. So we never really, put a platform there that give us a chance. And then you have to credit Leinster, for every mistake we made, they punished us. They were very clinical. They won all this 50-50s in the air, a lot of them, especially second half. And they were just a champion team today, So a lot of saw hearts in the change room at the moment. But then if I reflect on the season, we wanted to be more competitive today, but I'm very proud of the season, of how the boys rallied and showed a lot of fight.
And then just to follow up, do you think in a grand final, it's more a case of the small moments matter the most, or this Leinster side is just too good?
No, I think small matters does matter, that has an influence. You can take nothing away from Leinster. They're a quality side, quality all over from 1 to 23, and well coached. I've got a lot of respect for Leo and for Jacques. They world class coaches and world class players. But if you're gonna, be loose in your ball protection, and you're gonna, concede yellow cards against a quality attack side, and you're going to lose, not get the momentum going. Small things, small margins, that one knew we have to be accurate, and yet we didn't. So early points puts a lot of pressure on you. I thought we're going to fight back after Kanan's created that try, was called forward, and then suddenly, that was the last chance saloon. So, I think, I don't say we would have won. I think the disappointing thing is if we were just a little bit more accurate, we probably could have made a better spectacular game of it, edge of seat game, and not so maybe so comfortable.
I'm just wondering, Coach, is the fact that you have lost, the team have not particularly under your stewardship, but the team itself have lost a couple of grand finals now. They've lost 2 in a row here. Despite what the team might think, does that actually get into their heads a bit, especially when you're in trouble early on?
I can't speak on behalf of the players. We never felt like that, like there's external pressure from previous losses. I think if anything, we wanted to use that as motivation, to get one over the line after being in 4 finals. So maybe on the field, bad start, it could have played maybe a role where players will think, yes, is it another one? But that was not the talk halftime. Even though we were 22-0 down, there was still a belief that if we can score 2 tries in the first start of the second half, we're back in it. But yeah, I mean, it's always tough against a so good side, if you start on the back foot, to fight back. But that's not, if you look at Glasgow and Scarlets and a few other games during the season, we did come back from behind, and so I think the players kept on believing, but we could never really put phases together and put quality rugby together before we made an error. So it's a difficult one to say. Was there a stage where they probably would have think about the past? I don't know, but it's something we'll definitely we'll work on to say you can't let that past drag you down. So hopefully it's not going to influence us in the future.
I suppose if you could get into a situation next year where you might be hoping on a home final in somewhere in South Africa, would that make a difference? The traveling and just having to come back here again. Is that an aim as well to get further up the table?
Yeah, again, my first season with the team, big learning for me personally. The last time I was coaching in South Africa, we played Super Rugby, and the competition was quite simple. You travel to New Zealand or Australia once, and you play there, and you're back, and then you only go back if you play a final or a semi-final. Now we've came to Europe probably 11 or 14 times. I can't remember what's the correct number. So there's moving variables where you got players with you in the early part, then they go to the Springboks, then you don't see them for 3-4 months, then they have to settle in with you. So that will be the aim, to get a home playoffs, but there's so much challenges before you can get there. The one challenge is every team wants to have a home playoffs, and every team is going to get better, and every team is fighting for those spots. So if we do get, that will be an aim to get it, but ultimately, I think that's the challenge for every team. If you play away, if you want to make it win, Munster showed they did it a few years ago. Glasgow did it when they did it against the Bulls. So it's not impossible, but if you just reflect on the start of the game, it's probably the opposite of what we wanted. We knew against a good Leinster side, you can't afford that.
Final one from me. Is the URC maybe harder than people looking at it from harder to win or harder just to compete in than people looking from outside maybe realize? It's a tough competition now.
It's very tough. No, it's a good competition and a tough competition. If you win it, you deserve, and that's why I say credit to Leinster. Again, they're also in the same scenario where you sometimes have got players and you haven't got players, and you have to travel and you have to play different conditions. Obviously, South Africa can be different conditions for the European sides, and the same for us. So it's an all-round competition where you have to play well at home, but also play well away, and get tested in your squad, and also get tested in the conditions. So yeah, no, I think people hopefully they will realize it is if you win it, it's a great achievement. So well done on Leinster.
Thank you, and have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Coach, could I just ask about the first half? Twice at the very start and at the very end, you had a chance to go for the posts. I just wonder, was Andre carrying a knock, or was it a deliberate ploy to go and chase after a maul try?
No, I think we were all comfortable with the decision. We needed points. I don't think 3 points would have done it for us. If it was still 12 or no, maybe, but at 22 down, we needed a try. So we backed the guys to go for the corner and see if they can score. But obviously we didn't execute that. So yeah, so it's always something that you'll reflect. I think there was one actually at 12-0 that we probably could have taken, but again, the players is on the field, and we'll always back their decision.
I know this evening's game is obviously disappointing, but I know a few Leinster players are obviously moving on. Very emotional for them. What about your squad? Will you have the nucleus of this squad for next season, or are there players coming, or new players coming into your squad?
Yeah, there is a bit of change. Four players are leaving. That's been obviously heavily involved with the URC side, and then there's a few players coming in.